My game camera went off and I went to see who was in the hen house, but there was a possum, but he got away from me. My light on my cap went out. But what I'm really recording now is I came around this curb and I am sure there was a sounder of hogs on the side of the road. Let me turn, high beams won't work at that. Turn my high beams on. I'm gonna slow down as I come around this curb and look, see, right there. There's some hogs right there, just laid up on the side of the road. There's like about 6 or 7 of them. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna try to zoom in. I can't stop because if I stop, I'm gonna spook them. But they're just sitting there enjoying the cool morning air. I'm gonna turn around and go back. What I did now is I tried zooming my camera in, see if I get a better shot. This will be a little bit better because they are on this side of the road. Let's see. There they are, just hanging out. Just sitting there hanging out. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Good morning, everybody. That was a bit of a bizarre scene this morning, seeing those hogs on the side of the road like that. Well, the sun is up and we're getting a little bit of drizzle this morning. We've got some overcast skies. Well, we've had overcast skies all weekend. So hopefully this will bring us some good rain. I'm hoping. But we're going to get over here and get some okra. We're going to do our morning okra cutting. Every morning we get a good stand of okra. We're going to come in and cut those. The tomatoes are really taking a beating in this heat. We're just going to have to wait and see how much rain we get and how much of these tomatoes return. I just haven't been watering because it's just like spitting in the wind right about now with the heat we've been having. The squash is taking a beating. We've got I think there's one squash there. I'll pick that and take that in. And over here the peppers, everything's been taking a beating in this heat. Cucumbers, I've just stopped messing with the cucumbers because they have been just so bitter. You just can't even eat them. So I haven't even been bothering picking them. I think what I'll do is the ones that's on the vine, I'll just let them go to seed. And then I'll just go ahead and harvest the seeds out of those cucumbers, let them dry out and put them up for next year. But let me go ahead and get these okra cut, take them inside, cut them up, put them in the freezer bag. What I do is I cut them up, put them in a freezer bag. Then after a few days when I get enough, then I would put them in the freeze dryer and then put them in the Mylar bags. So let's go ahead and see how many okra we're going to harvest this morning. There's my haul for the morning so far. Once in a while you'll miss a few of them in the leaves, so I'll go through and double check. And yes, I'm still barefoot in the garden. I need to start a series, Barefoot in the Garden. Now, I had a question. These are my gloves, and they're nice and comfortable. I've shown these before. How many of you have a problem throwing away your old gloves? I just have a hard time throwing away my old gloves. Look at that. they just get so comfortable and fit so good, but they get all tattered and torn, and a lot of times you end up getting prick through your glove or through the hole in your glove. But I just take the prick and keep on going because I just enjoy the comfort of a nice old glove. Oh, now we got some squash here. I'll go ahead and get some of these squash. That's looking good. There you go. You can cut those up. There was another one over here I saw earlier. It was on another squash bush. Step over that a little carefully. There it is. We'll get him. There's another one. We'll go ahead and get him. So, got 4 squash. We still have some of these cherry tomatoes, but I'm not gonna pick them right now. I'll probably come back. There's not a whole abundance of them. And hopefully we'll get some good rain to revive my tomatoes. That would be awesome. Well, one thing I've been very surprised and excited about is the bees. You know, every morning I'm out here, they're out here. They will fly by me, bumble around my legs as they go from flower to flower, getting the pollen. And never once has any of them stung me, and I haven't swatted any of them. I just sit back and say, that's how we're supposed to live. They're getting the pollen, I'm getting the vegetables, and we're just out in the garden living in harmony. And well, there's 2 of them on that. Well, there was 3 of them, but then once the other 2 came and saw that there's someone on it, they just went on to the next flower. That's how it is in life, you know. Folks just fighting over resources, and there's just so much of it. Just move on to the next resource. You know, there's so much. There's enough for everybody. You know, and I always ask the question, how much is enough? Folks can have a pantry full of food and everything, and they still gonna go there and fuss and fight and act as if they don't have anything. It's like there is enough resources. So me and these bees, we're in this garden every morning. They're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. I see them, they see me. Once in a while they'll bump my leg, but they haven't stung me. And when they bump my leg, I just move off to the side. And I haven't had the need to swat or kill any of them because I know I need the bees. You know, the irony of it is they need me to plant the garden, and I need them to pollinate the garden. That's how life is. We all need each other. We all have our part to play. We have our role to play. So, you know, that's the way I look at it. But let's go ahead and see what the chicks are doing this morning. I haven't given them any feed yesterday because, again, they scatter the food all over the ground. If they've got food all over the ground again this morning, I'm not going to feed them this morning. They can eat up all that food that's all over the ground. Ain't nobody got no money to waste. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Let's go see how they're doing. Hey chickadees, how are y'all doing this morning? Look at how big they're getting. Nice and healthy. They're filling out real good. Let me go inside, because sometimes the camera would focus on the chain and or the fencing, and you'll see the fencing but can't see the chicks. Okay, we are now inside. Look at that. Look how big they're getting. Now this small water container, I have not filled that for a few days, and one of the chicks probably stood on this nozzle here and twisted it, so water, I set it up to where water is dripping into there. And I have not filled this small container for a few days because water is in the big water container, and they've been drinking out of both of them. Oh, there was a grasshopper or some little bug just flew in, and I'm sorry. Everybody went chasing it and they got him. But they're growing big, they're looking good, and the feeder is still empty, but they've cleaned up most of the feed on the ground. I'll probably not feed them this morning. Let them do some more cleanup because there's still some feed on the ground. What they do, they get it in, start eating the feed really wild and fast and spill a lot on the ground. And they gotta train them to come back and pick it all up off the ground. Hey, little ones. Now where's that little one with the bad foot? Oh, there he is right there. That's that little one with the bad foot. And you can see that its wings, the feathers, are still trying to come in, whereas most everybody feathers are filling in and looking good. That little one still has like some new fresh growth that's coming in, but they're looking real nice. And I talked to my buddy last night about another 2 dozen eggs. I'll get them this week. Today is August 1st, so I'd like preferably to get them today to put in the incubator so that I don't have to be thinking too much as to which day it is. If I get them started on August 1st, I know I'll be expecting chicks August 21st. But everybody's doing good, looking good. Seems to be happy. They're not as afraid of me as they used to be. When I first come in, they would all take off to the back of the cage and huddle in a corner. And now they're coming around and sticking around. And the unfortunate bug that flies in does not make it long, because they all attack it. So they're doing well. I'm gonna get my basket of goodies, take these inside. Let's close that gate back. And that's what we wanted, to come out of our gate and have the chicks right there. That's where they are. So we're gonna go ahead and take these goodies inside to the kitchen. Then let's go over to the other hen house. You know, there's those raccoons wore me out. I had 8 hens and 1 rooster, and now I'm down to 2 hens and 1 rooster. And one funny thing is, one of the hens will not go back in the hen house. She decided that she's going to move in with the dog. So I was thinking I was down to 1 hen and 1 rooster, because yesterday morning when I went out, there was only 1 hen and 1 rooster in the hen house. And yesterday afternoon, when I went to check on everybody, there was the second hen was hanging out with the dog. So I guess they've become friends. There's a dog, the cat, and a hen. Best of friends. Yeah, this morning when I went out to get that possum, This is my flashlight. It fits on the end of my cap. And I saw the possum with the thermal. You know, he was on the ground. He was not stationary in the tree. He was on the ground moving. And I tried turning my light on to so I can see him. And my light failed. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. This is a Eye Protect. Very good light. I've had it for quite some years. It's rechargeable. You just plug it in right in this outlet back here. And the night before, it went out on me, so I was figuring it just needed a charge. So I charged it all day. And when I first went out there, it was working fine. But the minute that possum came in, it just turned off on me. And I haven't been able to get it back on. So I'm going to plug it in again, see how it functions, but definitely have to buy myself a new light. So that's what happened this morning. So I saw him in the thermal. Try to turn my light on so I can get a good shot, because it was real early this morning. It was still dark. But we'll get him sometime this week. I'll get another light. I'll get on out there. I like these headlights because it frees my hands up. With a regular flashlight, I've got to be holding that flashlight and trying to figure out, you know, pointing flashlight and gun. But with these, they're on my head and on my cap, and they're good to go. So that's what's happening there. But it's time to get started on this day. I've got to go fix myself some breakfast, take myself a shower, and get to the office. You guys have a wonderful day. Be safe out there and continue to be blessed.